Hello my dear students, welcome to CMI's online classes. In today's class, in this video, we are going to start the new chapter from our English literature book Beehive. And the new chapter is chapter 3, the poetry section of chapter 3, Rain on the Roof. The poem is written by Court Kinney. So the title of the poem is Rain on the Roof, and the poem is written by the poet Court Kinney. From the title of the poem Rain on the Roof, we can make out that the poem is about rain. The poet is telling us about the memories he has of the rain. The sound of the raindrops falling on the roof of his house brings back sweet memories of the past. So we see the poet losing himself to the memories of his past whenever he hears to the sound of the rain whenever the raindrops fall on the rooftop of his room. So this is a very romantic poem written by Court Kinney. And now we will explain this poem stanza wise. This is the poem of 3 stanzas and each stanza of 8 lines. The first stanza reads like this: when the humid shadows hover over the starry spheres and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears, what a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. In this first stanza, the poet is expressing his feelings. The poet is saying that when the humid shadows hover, here the phrase humid shadows refer to the dark clouds full of water. The poet says that when the sky is full of these dark clouds which are full of water, which are moisture laden and are full of water and about to bring rain, when such dark clouds hover around in the sky over all starry spheres. Here the phrase starry spheres refer to the sky full of stars at night. At that time, huge clouds which are full of moisture move around in the sky, and the sad darkness of the night is wiped off by the raindrops which seem like tears falling from the sky. The poet is comparing here in this stanza, the poet is comparing raindrops to tears, as he says that the dark sky is very sad. It appears as if it is crying, and the raindrops are the tears shed by it. He adds that it is like a blessing for him to lie in his room. Here the phrase cottage chamber means a room in a home, and listen to the sound made by the raindrops falling on the roof. So this was the explanation of the first stanza. Now we will explain the third stanza, and the third stanza reads like this: every tinkle of the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections wave their ear threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. In this stanza, in this second stanza, the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his house. He says that every tinkle of the shingles has an echo in the heart. That means that whenever he hears rain falling on the rooftop, the sound repeats in his heart and in his dreams. He has many different fanciful imagination. he adds that this sound of rain falling on the rooftop creates many new different dreams in his mind. He recollects memories of the past which come to his mind as dreams. So he says that as he listens to the patter of the rain upon the roof, he has many new dreams in his mind, and the memories of the past come back in the form of dreams to him. And this was the explanation of the second stanza. Now I am going to explain the third stanza, and the third stanza reads like this. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers ere she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond of look on me as I listen to this refrain, which is displayed upon the singles by the patter of the rain. So here in this last stanza, the poet introduces his mother. As he had told in the previous stanza that rain brings memories of his past, it is the memories of his mother who is no longer alive. That means at present his mother is not alive. And here the sound of the raindrops have become very much helpful for the poet to bring back the imagination of her mother. Understood? The poet says that in the past, when his mother was alive, she used to love him a lot. She used to consider him a darling, and she would let him sleep till daybreak and have sweet dreams. The poet can still feel that his mother is looking at him as he listens to the song made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his room. That means he still feels the presence of his mother, though it was the event of his past, that means the event of his past life, but still whenever the poet listens to the sound of the raindrops, whenever the poet listens to the pitter patter of the raindrops, he still can feel the presence of his mother. He feels that his mother is still alive and he is still living with him. She is still living with him. That means the poet's mother is still alive. Actually, she is not alive, but she has been made alive with the sound of the rain whenever the poet listens to it, whenever the rain falls on the rooftop of his room. The poet again adds that the sound of the rain makes him correlate his past with his present. That means he relates his present with his past and his past with his present, and he finds that the past is still alive and he is still he doesn't find any difference between the past and present, because the past becomes very much real and comes in his present life. That is why the poet is moved by the sound of the raindrops on the shingles of his room whenever he listens to the sound of the raindrops. It brings back memories of the past of the poet, and he is reminded of his mother, who is no more alive and is not present in this world at the present time. So this was all about the explanation of the very romantic poem Rain on the Roof. I hope my students have understood completely the explanation of the poem, and now you all are able to answer the questions, the related questions from the chapter. At the same time, I have also provided the word meaning, the meaning of the difficult words from this chapter and the meaning of those words according to the reference of the poem. So you all need to, the students, you all need to write down the examples of all the examples of the words as I have provided to you with the help of the notes in the group itself. Kindly check your notes thoroughly and write down in detail in your notebook. And the poet has also used some of the literary devices in this poem, such as metaphor, alliteration, anaphora, and repeated epithet. Now you all need to find out the definition of all these literary devices, and you need to go through the book and you read the book, you read the poem and find out the examples of anaphora and metaphor and alliteration and repeated epithet. So this much for today's class. I hope you all have found this video very much helpful to understand the chapter. Thank you so much. This much for today's class.